They threw a party, invited everyone, posted smiling photos. They just forgot to tell me. My brother laughed. My mom made excuses. But when the bills stopped getting paid, suddenly I mattered. My name is Wanda. I'm 31, a freelance marketer living in Sacramento, California. I've spent the last decade building client campaigns, chasing deadlines, and quietly sending money every month to help my family stay afloat. Rent for my brother Randy when he was short, car payments when he got behind, utility bills when mom's check didn't stretch far enough. It started small, just a few $100s here and there. Over time it became routine, automatic, expected. Randy always thanked me with a quick, "You're the best," sis text. Mom would call and say how proud she was of me for being so responsible. Dad rarely said anything, but he never stopped me either. I told myself it was what family does. You show up. You help. You don't keep score. Then last month I scrolled through Facebook on a slow afternoon and saw the photos. My parents' backyard lit up with string lights, tables full of food, cousins laughing, aunts raising glasses, Randy in the middle holding a beer and grinning wide. Everyone was there. Everyone except me. The caption read, "Family night. So grateful for these people." Posted by Mom. Timestamp, Saturday evening. The same Saturday we talked about having a casual get-together at the house. I stared at the screen until it blurred. No text. No call. No "Hey Wanda, you coming?" Nothing. Just a perfect family photo with an empty space where I should have been. I called Randy first. He picked up laughing in the background. "Hey, what's up?" I kept my voice steady. "Was that the family party last night?" "Yeah," he said, still chuckling. "We kinda forgot to tell you." "Oops." He laughed again. Like it was nothing. Like I was nothing. If you've ever been erased from your own family's story while still being expected to pay for it, hit subscribe and drop a comment. What would you do? The moment you realized they only noticed you when the money stopped? 1 month later, Randy's requests started small but steady. He texted during my lunch break at the office, saying his car needed repairs and he was short on the payment this month. "Just $300, sis. I'll pay you back next paycheck." I transferred the money that afternoon after wrapping up a client pitch, figuring it was a one-time thing. He called right after, sounding relieved. "You're a lifesaver, Wanda. Don't know what I'd do without you." But it didn't end there. 2 weeks on, Mom forwarded her utility bill scan. The amount had spiked from last month's cold snap, and she mentioned Dad's hours got cut at the warehouse. "Could you cover it, honey? We'll sort it next time." I wired $450 from my savings, cutting back on my own coffee runs to balance it. Mom texted back with a string of thanks and hearts, saying how proud she was of my steady job. The favors kept coming. Randy called again a few days later, voice casual, "Rent's due, and I'm a bit tight. 200 should do it." I sent it without question, picking up an extra freelance gig editing ad copy to make up the difference. He promised to treat me to dinner soon, but the date never materialized. Mom's turn came next. She needed help with the grocery run for Dad's upcoming birthday, extra funds for special items since prices had risen. "Just $150, dear. You're so good at managing." I handled it, dipping into my emergency fund while she praised my responsibility over the phone. As spring warmed Sacramento's streets, the support felt routine. Randy emailed about his phone bill overdue. Another $200. I paid it, then helped Mom with a minor home repair invoice for $175. Each time they leaned harder, but I kept the flow going, telling myself family meant stepping up when needed. Dad rarely asked directly, but Mom relayed his car insurance renewal was up by $220. I covered that too, working through a weekend on a tight deadline to offset it. Randy followed with a request for gas money, $80 for job interviews he swore were promising. The pattern built quietly. I checked my account after each transfer, watching the balance dip, but their appreciation came in waves. Texts from Randy saying "best sis ever." Calls from Mom updating on Dad's health. I didn't mind the overtime at first. The satisfaction of keeping things stable outweighed the strain. By late spring, I'd sent over $1,000 in bits and pieces. Randy's next ask landed via voicemail. "Need $500 for a certification course. It'll help me get ahead." I paused before agreeing, calculating the hit to my next paycheck while he waited expectantly. 2 months later, the requests from Randy and Mom had become part of the rhythm. I'd wake up, check my accounts, transfer whatever they'd asked for, then head into my home office to chase client deadlines. Sacramento's spring heat was building, but I barely noticed. The pattern felt normal until the quiet moments when I sat alone with my laptop and started remembering how it all began. Growing up in our old neighborhood off Arden Way, Randy was the one everyone noticed. Teachers called him charming. Neighbors said he had potential. Mom beamed whenever he walked in the room. I was the older one who got things done. Straight A's, no detentions, part-time job at 16 to help with groceries. But praise for me was always brief. Good job, Wanda. Then the conversation turned back to Randy's latest adventure or mishap. In high school, the difference sharpened. Randy skipped classes, got caught with friends smoking behind the gym, crashed his first car going too fast on Highway 50. Mom fought every suspension, every ticket, every call from the principal. He's just spirited, she'd say. He'll grow out of it. When I brought home a scholarship offer for college, she nodded. That's nice, honey. Did you see Randy's new guitar? He needs lessons. I never got the excuses. If I talked back, I was disrespectful. If I asked for something, I was selfish. If I succeeded quietly, it was expected. Randy could fail spectacularly and still be the favorite. I learned to stop asking for attention and started proving my worth through actions: extra shifts, better grades, more responsibility. One afternoon in junior year, Randy and his friends were in the living room playing video games. I walked in to grab water from the kitchen. His friends looked up, one smirked. Randy glanced over, then back to the screen. No introduction. No, this is my sister. Just silence. I filled my glass and left without a word. Later that night he came into my room to borrow headphones, acting like nothing happened. We talked about his day, laughed at some joke. At home he was my brother. In front of others, I was invisible. Mom never corrected it. She'd say Randy was outgoing and I was serious, as if that explained everything. Dad worked long shifts and stayed out of the dynamic. I told myself it didn't matter, that being reliable was enough. But those moments stuck, being erased in public while welcomed in private. Now, as I drove through Sacramento's traffic after a client meeting, those old feelings mixed with the present. Randy had texted again that morning about another bill. Mom called yesterday to ask if I could help with Dad's upcoming doctor visit copay. I kept saying yes, kept sending the money, but the weight was heavier each time. I pulled into my driveway that evening and sat in the car for a minute, engine off, staring at the garage door. The support had become routine, but the memory of being overlooked never faded. I wondered how long I could keep pretending it didn't hurt. 6 months later, the steady stream of requests had become my normal, but the quiet doubts from those early memories lingered in the back of my mind. I was wrapping up a client email when I decided to check Facebook during a quick break. Scrolling through the feed, a photo from Mom popped up, her backyard decked out with balloons and tables covered in snacks. Cousins posed with drinks, aunts hugged. Randy stood center frame grinning with a plate in hand. The caption read, "Birthday bash for Dad. Grateful for this crew." Timestamp. Last night. The night I'd spent at home reviewing campaign metrics, assuming the party was still weeks away. I refreshed the page twice, thinking it was a mistake. But more photos loaded: guests. Arriving, toasts raised, laughter captured mid-moment. Everyone there. No sign of me. No missed call. No text saying, "Where are you?" My chest tightened. This wasn't some casual hangout. This was Dad's big birthday party. The one we'd discussed in the group chat. The one Mom had mentioned just days ago. It'll be nice to have the whole family together. I'd even picked up a new tool set for Dad, wrapped it, set it aside for the occasion. I called Randy. He answered on the third ring. Background noise faint, like he was stepping outside. "Hey, what's up?" My voice stayed even. "Was Dad's party last night?" A pause, then a chuckle. "Yeah, we kinda forgot to tell you." "Oops." He laughed again, like it was a minor slip. Like forgetting milk at the store. I gripped the phone. "You forgot." "Yeah, things got busy." "No big deal. Right?" "No big deal." After months of me covering bills, sending money, keeping things afloat, I ended the call without another word. The screen blurring as I stared at it. The photos mocked me now, smiling faces in a celebration I wasn't part of. They hadn't just overlooked me. They'd planned it, coordinated it, enjoyed it without a second thought. I wasn't family in that moment. I was the outsider they'd erased. I sat there for what felt like hours, the office hum fading around me. The betrayal wasn't in the party itself. It was in the ease of it all. They had everything they needed without me there. And it hadn't mattered. I opened my banking app and scrolled to the recurring transfers. The ones for Randy's rent, Mom's utilities, Dad's copays. Each one active, automatic, pulling from my account like clockwork. My finger hovered over the cancel button. For the first time, I saw them for what they were, ties that bound me, but never the other way around. The week after that discovery, I couldn't shake the image of those photos, everyone smiling, toasting, celebrating without a single empty chair for me. The more I thought about it, the clearer it became. I wasn't forgotten. I was deliberately left out. And the worst part was how easily they'd done it. I needed to talk to someone who wasn't family. Gina answered on the first ring when I called her that evening. We met the next afternoon at a quiet cafe near Midtown Sacramento. Away from the office noise and the heat, I sat across from her with my iced coffee untouched and told her everything: the months of transfers, the party photos, Randy's casual laugh when I asked why. Gina listened, eyes narrowing as I spoke. When I finished, she set her cup down. They didn't forget you. They chose not to include you. And they still expect you to keep paying their bills? I nodded. That's not family, she said. That's a one-way street. You've been carrying them for years. Time to put the load down. She leaned forward. Cancel the auto payments. All of them. Rent, utilities, whatever you've been covering. Do it today. Let them feel what happens when the support stops. I stared at the table. It'll hurt them. It already hurts you, she replied. You don't owe them your peace. That night, I sat at my desk with my laptop open. I logged into my bank account and pulled up the list of recurring transfers. Randy's rent $600 a month. Mom's utility autopay $220. Dad's insurance contribution $180. Each one set up years ago, as temporary help. I hovered over the cancel button for each, heart steady. One by one I clicked through. Confirm. 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 The screen refreshed with updated balances, no more outflows. No drama. No explanation. Just quiet removal. I closed the laptop and leaned back. For the first time in years, the numbers in my account felt like mine again. Not a shared resource. Not a safety net for people who never asked if I was okay. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a text from Randy. Hey, rent didn't go through. Everything okay on your end? I read it once, then set the phone down without replying. Gina texted later that day. You do it? Yeah. I answered. Good. Now watch what happens when they have to carry their own weight. I didn't check the family group chat. I didn't answer the incoming calls. I went to work, taught my sessions, came home, cooked dinner for one. The silence on my end was loud enough. The morning of the party, I woke up to silence: no buzzing phone, no last-minute texts asking for extra cash or help with setup. I made coffee, sat at the kitchen table and opened my banking app. Every recurring transfer had cleared overnight. Cancelled, reversed, done. No more automatic outflows. The numbers looked different now, smaller, but entirely mine. Around 10 a.m., the first message arrived from Randy. Hey, the venue guy called. Said the balance didn't go through. You forget to send it. I read it once, then set the phone down. No reply. By noon, the tone had shifted. Wanda, pick up. The caterer's not setting up. They're saying payment's missing. What's going on? Missed calls started stacking. Randy? Mom. Even an unknown number I recognized as one of Mom's friends helping with the event. I let them ring out. At 1:15, Randy called again. This time I answered. His voice came through sharp, edged with panic. Wanda. The whole thing's falling apart. No food, no tables, people are showing up and there's nothing. Fix this. Call them back. I kept my tone calm. You threw a party. Invited everyone. Posted the photos. You just forgot to tell me. A pause, then a frustrated exhale. Come on, it wasn't like that. We were busy. Don't make this about you. It is about me, I said. I paid for every part of it. And I wasn't even invited. He laughed once short, bitter. So you're just gonna let it collapse? Over a stupid oversight? It wasn't an oversight. It was a choice. And now you get to live with it. I ended the call. The phone lit up again immediately. Texts, voicemails, more calls. I put it on silent and went back to my work. Mom tried next, around 2:30. I answered on the fourth ring. Wanda, sweetheart, what is happening? Your brother is losing his mind. The guests are confused. The venue is threatening to clear everyone out. Please, fix this. Mom, I said slowly. You planned a party. You didn't include me. Why should I pay for something I wasn't part of? Her voice cracked. It was just a mix-up. We thought you were busy. You're always working. I wasn't busy. I was waiting for an invitation that never came. Silence stretched on her end. You're being unfair. We're family. Family doesn't erase someone then. Expect them to foot the bill. She tried again, softer. Please, honey. Just pay the vendors. We'll talk after. I promise. No, I said. I'm done talking. And I'm done paying. I hung up. She didn't call back right away. But the texts kept coming. Please. Guilt trips. Accusations. I didn't read them. Randy showed up at my door around 4 p.m. I saw him through the peephole, hands in pockets, shoulders tense. I opened the door just enough. Can we talk? He asked. I stepped aside. He walked in, looked around like he hadn't been there in months. Wanda, the party's a disaster. No one's eating. People are leaving. Mom's crying. Just call the vendors. Send the money again. We'll fix it. I folded my arms. You laughed when I asked why I wasn't invited. You said oops. Now you want me to fix your mess? He ran a hand through his hair. I didn't mean it like that. I was stressed. Come on, we're family. Family doesn't forget you exist until they need your wallet. He stared at me. For the first time he looked unsure. So that's it. You're just gonna let everything fall apart? You already let me fall apart, I said. I'm just matching the energy. He opened his mouth, closed it. Then he turned and walked out without another word. The rest of the afternoon passed in quiet. I finished a client report, made dinner, watched the sun drop behind the trees. My phone stayed silent for the first time in weeks. No more requests. No more thanks. Just space. The days after the party felt strangely still. I didn't turn my phone back on for 2 full days. When I finally did, the screen was flooded, missed calls, voicemails, unread texts from Randy, Mom, even a couple from cousins who'd been at the event. I skimmed the first few messages from Randy. Anger, blame, then desperation. Wanda, you ruined everything. People left early. Mom's a mess. Call me. Mom's texts were longer, laced with guilt and disappointment. How could you do this to your family? We're all hurting. Please fix this. I didn't respond. I blocked Randy's number first, then Mom's. Dad never texted directly, but I blocked his line too. The silence settled in like a blanket, thick, heavy, but peaceful. The fallout unfolded slowly. A week later, I received a formal letter from the venue's management demanding payment for breach of contract. I forwarded it to a consumer attorney. Gina recommended a woman who specialized in payment disputes. She reviewed the receipts, the cancellation confirmations, and the screenshots of Randy's oops call. Her assessment was straightforward. You funded these as gifts for an event you were excluded from. No services were delivered to you. The bank sided with you. Stand your ground. The vendors eventually settled directly with Mom and Randy after realizing the payments were legitimately disputed, but the damage rippled outward. Randy's credit took the hit, late fees reported, accounts flagged. In Sacramento, where rents are high and jobs competitive, that meant applications rejected, security deposits doubled, and doors closed before he even knocked. He and his girlfriend ended up moving back in with Mom, which only fueled more tension. Mom tried one final visit. She showed up at my apartment unannounced, eyes red, voice low. Wanda, this has to stop. Your brother is struggling. Your father is ashamed. We're family. I stood in the doorway. You planned a party. You didn't invite me. I was never family in that moment. I just made sure the money matched the invitation. She shook her head. You're being cruel. I'm being done. I closed the door gently. She didn't knock again. Months passed. I heard fragments through mutual friends. Randy's job search stalled because of credit issues. Mom's social circle shifted after word spread about the party collapse. I didn't check up. I didn't gloat. I just kept living, building campaigns, walking the American River Trail, meeting Gina for coffee. My savings grew. My evenings were quiet. My phone stayed silent. Looking back, the real loss wasn't the money I'd sent. It was the years I'd spent believing that giving endlessly would earn me belonging. Randy taught me that some people only value you when you're useful. Mom reinforced it by choosing excuses over fairness. The lesson carved itself deep. Boundaries aren't punishment. They're protection. You don't owe anyone your resources just because you share blood. And when someone shows you through actions, not words that you don't belong, you don't have to keep paying to prove you do. If you've ever been the one who gave everything and still got left out, tell me in the comments. Did you walk away? Did it cost you family? Or did it finally give you peace? I read every one. And if this story hit close to home, hit subscribe, there are more real stories coming.